I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review of the Rugged Ridge Spartacus HD Tire Carrier Kit, fitting all 2007 and 2016 JKs. This kit includes both the hinge tire carrier and the tire mount, which are also both available separately. You want to take a look at this kit if you have large tires on your Jeep and you want to get that big heavy spare tire off of the factory tire mount, tailgate, and hinges. All of those components can fatigue and be damaged with a large heavy spare, which can actually put you in a dangerous situation. The hinges will eventually sag, which means you'll have to pick up on the tailgate every time you open it and close it. The welds on the tailgate itself can break, causing vibration and noise, and the metal of the factory tire mount can actually fatigue, causing the tire to sometimes completely fall off, especially if you bounce your Jeep around off-road a lot. To avoid that damage, there are a couple of things you need to do. One, you need to keep the tire tight up against the tailgate so it's not vibrating and torquing around, causing that fatigue we talked about when you go over bumps on the road. And two, you need to get that weight of the spare tire off of the tailgate hinges. You can do that in a few different ways. One is by installing a bumper with a tire carrier that's integrated into it, or you can use a tub-mounted carrier like this one. There are a few benefits to a tub-mounted tire carrier like this over a bumper-mounted tire carrier. One of those is that you can still open and close the tailgate with one hand in one motion instead of having to first open the tire carrier and then open the tailgate. Another benefit to a system like this is that you're not limited to choosing a bumper that has a tire carrier option. So once you've decided that a tub-mounted tire carrier is the right system for you and for your build, there are really only a couple of options to take a look at. Like we said before, this kit includes both the hinge tire carrier and the spare tire mount. The tire carrier is made of a cast aluminum and the mount is made of steel. Both are finished off with a textured black powder coat to resist corrosion and rust. You'll be able to mount up to a 37-inch tire on the back of your Jeep with this kit. When comparing this system to other systems on the market, there are some differences to note. Some of those other systems will allow you to cut up the third brake light and install it in the center of the spare tire. This system doesn't require any cutting and provides this adjustable third brake light mounting bracket, which keeps the third brake light above the spare tire in more of a factory location. Another thing to note is that this spare tire mount allows you to adjust the tire in and out so you can keep it tight up against the tailgate, but it doesn't allow you to adjust the tire up and down. Getting this tire carrier installed on the Jeep was pretty straightforward thanks to the detailed instructions that Rugged Ridge provides. I would definitely recommend reading through them before you get started and taking your time to avoid any snags. A couple of things you'll want to have on hand before you dig into the install are some wooden wedges to support the tailgate from the bottom when you have the hinges removed and a good set of Torx bits. You'll have all the hardware you need to get this bolted up between the factory hardware that you reuse and the hardware that comes in the kit. We actually had a couple of spacers left over because we were installing both the hinged carrier and the spare tire mount, so if you have a few parts left over, don't be alarmed. Rugged Ridge also includes a length of wire and some crimp-on connectors to extend the factory wiring harness for the third brake light if you need to. We were only installing a 33-inch tire on our Jeep, so that wasn't necessary for us, but if you have a larger spare tire and you move the third brake light up, you may need to do some wiring. Once you get the carrier installed and the third brake light set up, then you can make the adjustments for the tire mount. Now, unfortunately, even at its tightest, we weren't able to get our tire tight up against the tailgate and the carrier. I have used some other tub-mounted carriers that allow for that much adjustment, and I really prefer to have the tire tight up against the tailgate. Aside from the Torx bits that I mentioned earlier, you should be able to get this installed with just a socket set and some open-ended wrenches. The whole install should take about 1 hour, and it'll be helpful to have an extra set of hands around. Like I said before, there aren't a lot of options on the market if you're looking for a tub-mounted tire carrier. And while this one's a little less expensive than some of the most popular options, it's really well built, even if it doesn't allow you to get the tire quite as tight up against the tailgate as I would have liked. That's my review of the Rugged Ridge Spartacus HD Tire Carrier Kit, fitting all 2007 and 2016 JKs that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.